What's happening? Moss2Chappy back with my boy Strayous in the building. FNS Games is his YouTube name. Be sure to check him out. He's doing his thing. And, he's a solid player. And, he's here today to help me show you guys how to lab. So, that play there, as you seen, we had a purple out there. But evidently purple sucked because, you know, he just goes over them every single time. You can probably find a lot of videos on purples. I was really experimenting with the purples and the yellows this game, trying to see exactly how they play the field against different routes, different route combinations, different opponents, different passes, etc., etc. This is something you really want to do once in a while, especially if you're comfortable in the defense you're playing, and you feel like there's one thing that's just beating you. You take that defense and you figure out what you can do to tweak it to stop that one thing if your opponent so happens to choose to, attack your defense in such a way. Then you won't be caught off guard and you'll be prepared. If you play cover 3 a lot and somebody's running the bench switch with, two guys towards the sideline. If you want to stop the two guys towards the sideline, what you want to do is shade your coverage to the outside and, use or take away one of those inside guys with the linebacker. And, that'll typically do actually a really good job on that. And, they won't be able to get that off on you. So that's the type of things, I like to do defensively. Offensively, I like to get a feel of how a play I run does against different plays and such. Like attack, you go into practice mode, you attack your cover 3, you attack your 2-man under, you attack your blitzing play. But there's nothing that can replace that user defender. There's nothing that can replace stuff that guys do defensively as a user. Shifting your line, crashing them this way, or, setting up a nano through the middles, or, setting up double edge heat, or, playing a zone and, him switching a few guys into man. The list goes on of the adjustments they can make. But the biggest thing about the user defender is the user defender himself. Who is he manually controlling? And, because the user defender can literally take away the one money route you have on a play. So you have to be prepared for that. And, those are type of things you have to prepare for going into a battle. So, another thing you want to look at is, if you're going to test out the purple zones, you have to test it out against the run as well, because, draws are really common. If they see you start dropping guys in the purples, they're going to, probably start running halfback draws on you. So, you have to adjust for that and figure out what, how many yards you're looking to give up if you are going to put those guys in the purples. What you're sacrificing. You're going to obviously sacrifice a few more run yards in exchange for the passing yards that you're hoping to stop. And, those are decisions you're just going to have to stick with. You can't stop everything at once. This game is very limited defensively, especially with the lack of effectiveness of the purple zones and, the lack of effectiveness of a man against certain routes. Well, basically any route destroys man. But I like running man defense, oddly enough, but you can make those small adjustments to help yourself out. And here, these are the what I call the little things in the game. As you can see, he recovered the kick. There was 1 second left on the clock, and no clock ran off. Now, why is that critical? Because, a little thing like that can make a huge difference, obviously, in the game. As you can see, he got 3 there. And, that one kick could be the difference in a possession in the game and, end up being the result of a win. So, knowing little things like that, or, knowing that if the clock is running and you kick the ball with 1 second left and you hold the kick button, you can run an additional 3 to 4 seconds off of the play clock. Not the play clock, game clock. Because the play clock will actually stop and the game clock will continue to run for about a good 3 or 4 seconds while you're holding the button and during your kickoff, and then you'll have run off an additional 5 seconds, and then you have the kick itself, which is a few more seconds. So you can really run off roughly, 50-55 seconds on a kick. Well, not 55, but roughly 40-45-50 seconds on a kick, depending on the length of the kick, in a 40-second play clock. So, those additional few seconds could be the difference between them having to do a Hail Mary and them having the time to, run a play towards the sideline and getting an additional play in. So, those small details is what I like to call them. There's so many small details in the game that you need to know about. And, I learned about a few of them this game, actually 3. So you guys are learning with me. That kickoff thing, I didn't know if that would run the clock off. So, you have to see in the game itself. And, there's another thing he's going to do this game that I'll point out when he does it. But, yeah, Stray's a good competitor, man. Been knowing this guy for a while. Real solid player. He's been good for quite a few years. So, definitely can be helpful in helping you develop your game. Definitely a good competitor. And, he was kind enough to take his time out to help me out here. And, want to thank him for that. And, offensively, you want to see how the different route combinations are going to change certain defenses. Like, for instance, the Z spot. It took me a little while to develop it as I run it, but it's really a simple setup, so I guess it didn't take long. But that streak, is the outside gonna play him or is he not? If they shade to the outside guy will actually take the deep slant out. So those small details, Oh, and this is the thing I want us to point out. He does a fake kick right here, fake punt, which is a really good play call actually. But I didn't know if it worked this year, and I guess it does work for the good old yard. And another thing you can do, you go into a lab game. If you don't have someone you can currently lab with, what you do is you go into quick unranked match, or if you don't care about ranked record, go into a quick ranked match and go ahead and if you're working on just your offense, go ahead and run a punt block, let them score real quick. And take advantage and work on your offense, and likewise for defense. Between lab sessions and practice mode, you can really cut down the time it takes to learn about the game and become a better player. And hopefully some of these tips can help you guys out and improve your game. Thanks for watching, and until next time.